Fu Yo-Yo, what's cooking? What's happening? What video were you watching? Which one? Cheers. Just kind of slowly getting started. Not sure what we're doing yet, but I think it seems pretty mapped out now. Just like final details. I also want to do some glazes, so we'll do that. I think I want to make it a little more yellow, orange. Let's do that. Orange and okay. Orange and brown. So let's do that first. Let's make his. I'll keep him yellow. Yeah, it's close. It's my top 10 videos. I don't know what that would be. Your top 10 video, like just the top ones on my page or whatever. Yeah, this is close to finished, but I want to do some more glazes. So let's do that. Orange, some brown, some yellow. A little more yellow. So I'm just tinting his suit, and I'm tinting with, normally when I do washes, you'll just see me wash over the whole thing, but I'm trying to have some input when I put in this kind of tint. I'm not sure how much it shows. I just want to, for whatever reason, I just want to add, I want to change his color to like an orangey yellow. I think I have a couple reasons for this. I'm adding layers. That's the main reason why I would even do this, is because I want more layers of glaze. I really like how the end product comes together, the piece, and the yellow was good, but I just want it to be slightly just, I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to put another layer of glaze and also tint his suit a little bit when I'm doing that. Like I could be putting a yellow glaze on this right now, easy, but I just decided like just an aesthetic kind of like idea. Let's make him a little more orangey. But you can see, so the glaze, here's a good example. When I'm glazing right now on something that's a little lighter, just to show you, it's not, I wouldn't even say it's probably like 60-40, like there's 60% pigment, not even, maybe 20%. And then 80% liquid. Just to get those glazes going. And it's a really slow burn process, but it builds up. And look how easy you can course correct, right? That application is basically non-existent now. And you see how I'm going over even like the black lines and kind of toning some of the shadows down too when I do that. And you can kind of leave some areas that are the more mid light to light yellow. I don't have to like cover everything. That's why I have a smaller brush. I'm not washing the whole painting. I'm not washing the whole figure. Being a little selective, but I am aiming to cover the whole thing. Slowly but surely. Give me another chance. I think that's the name of this piece. So still under the same guise of rebranding death. But he's just like, give me another chance. You have to. It can't end like this. Then he's got Squeezy the duck. Squeezy. Touch him up a little too. Kind of like Squeezy a lot, so let's be careful. Squeezy, be careful, please. See how it calms some of those like deep shadows, it calms them down, brings them together. Really easy to course correct if I apply it too thick or expand his arm a little bit too much. I can pull it back, but you're just not making any dramatic, you're never really making anything you're not shifting it dramatically all at once. It's a slow, that's the thing about glazing and these kind of applications. I just love it with shadow work, like dramatic lighting and cinematic lighting ideas. I love to glaze with like the darkness, like glazing things into the darkness. And because there's so much liquid, this will start getting pretty tacky. I wouldn't say within minutes, but almost. And you see I didn't wash the whole piece because I want to wash this in a different color. No, I just pulled some of the other glaze to the side and I put a little bit more white into it, just where I want some highlights and some of the ripples. Very subtle. The more you can stay in the subtle, in the nuance here, especially in like nearing the end of the painting, the better off I am. And that's where you can get lost. You can get really lost in this process, which I really enjoy. You can lose an hour in a minute. And that's also when you get these auras. So when I paint onto the black background, which is dry from yesterday, and I pull like a thin layer of glaze, you're gonna get these aura effects. which I think are really cool. In most of the grades, you'll see these aura effects. That's where I learned kind of the ideas, studying their work. Like they don't have these rigid lines, their lines flow into the background. Silently, these are end details. You would never worry about these early on, but it's interesting when you do study an old painting how everything is diffused and blurred into the background. And in their case, masterfully. But again, you only will start noticing that as you get closer to the end. I am looking for other ideas too. Never went to art school, but as I said before, I don't even wear that like as a badge of honor anymore. I would totally go to art school. I think it's good. I would like to know what the names of brushes are called now. As I get older, like I would like to know standard techniques that I've had to learn through trial and error. Like I think art school is gets kind of a bad rap these days. Like it's not valuable, but I think for me, art school would be I would recommend it if you can go, but I didn't go. And for a while I was like, yeah, I'm self-taught, you know. I had a bit of I wouldn't say a chip on my shoulder, but I kind of changed how I think about art school. But that's also only because it turns out I ended up painting, you know, I had no idea I was going to be painting every day, all day for the rest of my life. So had I known that, maybe like I would have try to figure out how to do art school, but I didn't know at the time. I kind of like in the year 17, for the first 7-8 years, I was just painting large scale abstract, big abstract paintings. So I was just learning what paint did and didn't do. And then I was like branching into resin abstract work and stuff like that. So I learned a lot about like mediums and applications. And then slowly over time, I started to really invest into painting figuratively, and I wanted to get good at it. So I just spent probably the last decade painting figuratively, sometimes still in an abstract, kind of surreal, impressionistic way for sure, but with the goal of like, I have a message I want to convey. I have something I want to say in my art. Abstract is like an instrumental, right? It's beautiful. Like you can have an instrumental, like a instrumental piece, but then figurative work is adding lyrics to things, right? I want you to hear what I'm saying. So now let's do hi pumpkins.
Can I say hi?
I don't know.
Wow,
But
you're so amazing.
I mean, yeah. Now I'm just putting a wash on the stereo. And the skull. Actually, I want the stereo to have more blue, like a steely, plasticky blue. And you see, you have to kind of be like, I can add the wash onto that, but it's gonna just kind of take away. Oh, I really like this. This has more life to it now. Damn goons. Damn goons, what's up? Yeah, things are good today. Woke up feeling good. And relaxed, not like overly motivated, which is kind of nice too, like not like rushing to get something done. The most beautiful painting I've ever done, I don't know. I've been painting for years. I'd have to think about that. Each painting has a different meaning and has a different, it's attached to a different time period. And some paintings, you know, mean absolutely nothing. Whereas other paintings will change over time, like, wow, really proud of that one, or this one really means something to me. So not all paintings are the same in that way, but I wouldn't even know what to tell you as far, because I paint every day. So it just would depend on going through there's certain pieces that would stand out for sure, but I'd have to I don't really kind of think of my work like that, like what I've done, what's the best work I've done. I am trying to make this the best that I can right now. It's just the subject matter that makes it a little more like, you know, it's harder to put this into the fine art category because of the subject matter. Versus if I do a portrait of a young woman on a swing looking into a blue sky, that's, you know, that'll come across very differently. This is very, you know, this is satirical and bizarre. But I try to almost do like, I had this series that I was doing last year that was just make cute and adorable. Cute and adorable, well, using my kind of themes. So really try to keep things in the cute and adorable. Oh, sorry, not cute and adorable. Cute and weird, adorable and weird. That was my goal. This kind of falls under that camp, adorable and weird, like combo, and not dark and morbid and disturbing. Just really try to walk that line, cute and weird. And then for me, my concepts are kind of the most important thing that I think I can offer as an artist. Because I just think so much, my brain just never stops. So trying to capture what I'm thinking about all the time is kind of what I'm almost most proud of. Like, I really like the idea of rebranding death as a joke, like, you know, as death's getting a bad rap these days and the public's turning on him, so he needs to do something, he needs to change, almost like a wrestling villain, you know, like in the WWE, after a while things get stale and you gotta change it, you gotta become a new character, you become the heel, or you change how the masses and the crowd see you in order to sell tickets. Really, in order to get the public's approval. And the idea of like death at one point having the public's approval and then losing it, so he needs to hire a team to rebrand himself. I would say that's my idea of the week. It's not an idea that will go on my tombstone, but like I have so many ideas. I have books and notes in my phone. Like I'll stop in the middle of a drive on my motorbike. I'll stop and pull over the side of the road and write down my ideas. Some of them are trash and some of them are really great. You can be honest with yourself. Like once you read your idea from a week ago, it's like, yeah, there's not much there, but it's interesting. It'll stay with me for a while. And then some ideas I'm like, you got to paint that. You got to bring that to life. It's worth it. It's worth becoming a painting. And this one, this piece, I was just painting the same concept earlier this week. So this one has enough life to become 2 paintings. Does it have enough life to become 3 paintings? I don't know. We'll see. But it certainly had enough life to become 2 paintings, and that I'm pretty stoked on that when an idea has enough power to energize 2 entire paintings. For me, that's a kind of a rarity. Normally, most of my ideas will last 1 painting in general. Some ideas last a month, that's more rare. Couple paintings, that's more rare. Most of my ideas kind of last. I have themes though, and like kind of strategies. Like you'll see a lot of my paintings over the last maybe even 6 months have been dark backgrounds. So there's that consistency. But the subject matter and the concepts will vary greatly. But my biggest message now that I've been kind of talking and vocalizing myself for so long, my biggest thing is I'm just kind of all about ideas. I love ideas. They're my favorite thing. Playing with my own brain is my favorite thing. Bringing ideas to life and concepts and building off of them, and it's my favorite thing as a painter. So even this black paint now that I'm putting in is still a glaze, so meaning I put a lot of liquid. It's not just black, like out of the tube, and then mixing it with mineral spirit. No, there's liquid in here. I also need to go back to my references of jukeboxes or boom boxes. Boom box, because I don't really know what these details are. I know there's a cassette, something, some knobs. At the same time, I don't really care. I like it. Let's do some of the. I was also thinking about making him like a puppet. I have a bird here. Let's see here.
Food.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in my bag. Can you get it? Thank you. Have enough?
Yes.
Sometimes the little things can cause me some trouble. for little details. So the way I get around that is to really slow down the train. Don't put a lot of paint on the brush. That's kind of your first tip when you're going really small, really detailed. Less on the paint brush is going to help you out significantly when you're putting in little details. And sometimes you have to really be conscientious of that as you start working on the thing, because you're just used to like I was just glazing the whole thing. Well, it's a totally different application. So much so that like I just clean my brush, dry it off, and then don't have any paint on here at all. And I'm just going to use what I put on there just now. That's how you paint little. Like, it's less is more when painting little. Give things time to, yeah, see, I'm just using what was on that I applied already. Brush is a little wet with turpentine and mineral spirit. Let's pull that around. You don't want to do anything dramatic at all. You're not like repainting the little pistol every time you touch it. You're just adding to it. So I think that's where you have to get your mind right. Just adding to it, not doing it again. That's the concept of little details. You're just adding little things, and then if you make a mistake, you can easily correct. Like if I pull things too hard, push things too hard, I can pull that off right away. Again, that's the magic of glazes. Now sometimes to make things brighter, you got to make things darker. So these teeth might not, like if I add like brighter highlights on these teeth, maybe that's not what it needs. It just needs like this dark, these dark lines here. Very little on the brush, because the teeth might be the right color, but the darkness behind it is not correct. So before you brighten it up, make sure the shadow is the right value. Make sure it's dark first before you brighten anything up. The last painting video I did, I didn't show you these final details on the piece, so these are just final details.
Yes, sir.
Telephone. So I probably should label this video like final details. For anyone interested, because if you look at the last video I did, I think it was like a 2-hour live stream that I did, but I never even got to this stage during that video with this last kind of painting in the series. Yeah, underbelly shadow, but if you don't want to ever do that yesterday, because it's just those are the finishing touches that you have to time them out, right? When are you going to put that in there? When are you going to decide to make these bird fingers clear? Because there's a lot of layers that need to go in between. Should we give them little feathers? And sometimes these little areas aren't even holding the paint right, so you really do gotta come back to it in about 30 minutes to add some more paint to really, or pull, in fact, actually we'll pull that away. It's too strong. I don't even know if you guys can see this, but I'm just working on the little bird hands. Just calming it down. I don't want it to be, I want it to be unified. They don't need to be, there's no reason for them to be highlighted or anything. It's just a slow, everything working together. So you saw earlier I put an orange wash on this, and now I'm just kind of going back over with some spotted yellow application, like to make the fabric look worn and detailed. And you can tell when the paint's getting tacky, because when I'm brushing into on my palette, it's tacky. So the mix that I made earlier, half an hour or so, it's starting to get tacky. So that's a good time to also play with the application that you put down, because you know that it's tacky on the panel too. And when you paint on the tacky panel, it's a different feeling. The brush hitting the panel is actually a different feeling than when I first started today. It holds and rubs differently. It pushes differently. And I think you can make some really big gains when it's rubbing like that. gains artistically, like this just makes like really cool, it feels good. Another thing is like this was set out to be like a rubber duck, and it kind of it became this cross between like a Pixar kind of like style or semi-realistic yellow bird, and I just went with it because I like it. I like the how it turned out. So that's, you know, just playing, adapting as you go along too. Originally it was like going to be a flat bottom like duck, like sorry, rubber duck that goes in the bath. But as it came to life, I'm like, oh, there's kind of, it almost looks like it's alive. Not real necessarily, but alive. So I'm going to go with that. Hey, I'm just checking the chat. Super duping. Appreciate you. That was a while ago. I'm sorry I missed that, but thank you. That's really cool. Super duping. If you're still there, big hug. Do you like Beksinski? Beksinski? Not familiar. Damn goons. Oil or acrylic? Right now I'm using oil, but I started this piece with acrylic. Now we move to oils. We'll also move to, let me just put, before I let you guys go, let me do a wash of blue, black, just blue and black. So let's just do this. I'll show you. I think it's, you won't be impressed, but let me show you what I'm talking about here. I love these glass palettes, by the way. These are my glass palettes. So this is what I'm talking about, my blue and black. It's a weird mix, but because there's liquid in there. So look, that's the glaze that I'm going to be using. It seems to be a little white in there, so it's like, I don't even know how to describe this color, but I like it. But it's blue, black, and then some white, and then liquid. And again, this is what I'm going to be applying on the painting right now, okay? Why? Because I just want some depth. Like, I think it adds a little bit of character into the stereo, even into the skull. I'm not pressing the brush heavy at all, just dabbing it on there. If it comes off too strong, I can move it around. I think I'm playing with like the browns that I put in earlier. Now's the time to play. Like I don't really even know the out. I just want to add some more flavor. That's it. Like that's how I would call what I'm doing. Just get some flavor going. Same with the gun. Same with the eye, maybe. Just get some flavor going. the jaw here. I am being selective, but with no kind of just more just conscientious. Let's get the flavor going down here. Get it on the glass. And this is just the glazes, but then they really all add together, right? So very subtle. Very subtle. Look at that, putting it into the suit. Crazy, right? Crazy. Let's put it over here. So easy to work with later, so I'm not afraid. Even if I kind of damage the suit, I'm not afraid. If I'm like, oh, that looks stupid, I'm not afraid. It works differently on the lights versus the darks. Even pulling it into the glove here. The bird doesn't really need it, I don't think. But he got it anyway. Yeah. Again, this is just what I really love to do with glazing, is just adding different colors and tints into the piece, and then just keep building off of one off of the other. You can even go a little harder, pull some pigment in there, and then we'll like go a little stronger here, a little stronger. And as I'm doing this, I don't go, oh wow, that looks amazing. I'm adding, like, it's almost like these little subtle, small hints of paint to bring it all together, right? You'll see I'm also going over everything with this glaze. So it is all throughout now, the entire piece. The other thing I'll do is, I want to do this now before I leave you. I want to do this now. You're gonna have to come back to more finishing touches, because I think when you paint a lot, something will just tell you, okay, it's done. It feels done. Everything feels done. Everything makes sense. I've worked everything is over and over again. I feel really happy with it. I don't quite have that yet, and I really think I want to let it settle today again, so I can do another layer of glazing, and then which is kind of excessive, and it's really just a stylistic choice. I don't really think doing what I just said is necessary, but I just want to. I don't know. This happens sometimes. I have the ability like this. So let me say that again. I let this settle today for the next couple hours. I go out, do some errands. I come back, it's dry to the touch, it's tacky. It's beyond tacky, it's dry to the touch. And then I can put a layer of glaze over top of everything. And again, the reason for that is just to build up all these subtleties and pull them all together. And that's just a stylistic choice. I just want to do that. I want to see how many, like, I think pulling all the glazes together is so fun for me, because it's like they start working together. And but I don't always do that. This is just this piece today is I have the opportunity and I want to do it. Otherwise, I'm really like I could really go, okay, it's done right now. I just don't feel that. I just want to keep going. I want to keep going. So it's early in the day for me here, so I have that opportunity. If it was close to the nighttime now, and I gotta edit a video and stuff, it might change my where I sit with this, because it's like, okay, I just want to post and share this and move on with my life. I also want to come back and start putting some like really like some more dramatic highlights. I want these eyes to be like spheres, or like kind of like glass eyes in a sense. So I'll put like I'll work on those later. And I want to do that after this is again dry to the touch. Are all my works like this? No, not at all. I change every week, right? Basically, if you just look at my body of work as a whole, and I have cycles, so I'll go through phases where I come in and out of work. I'm curious to see if I'm even going to follow this trend, my own trend for the next painting. I'm thinking about the next painting right now, and I don't know if I'm going to do another idea of like rebranding death. I don't have an idea, like this idea of him holding the stereo, like the John Cusack movie. So excited to paint it. Couldn't wait. Rushed to paint it. So glad I did. I don't have another like idea yet of how I can incorporate the idea of like rebranding death, putting him through a spin cycle or PR cycle. Like how can I make death look appealing and give him a new persona or a new image. And nothing is jumping out at me yet. And I really like the little side kicks that I've been doing. I'm interested in doing more side kicks for death. If you guys have ideas, I'd really love to know how you can rework death so he's not feared and hated by all. Tired of being alone, rejected by society. Give me another chance. That's the name of this piece. Give me another chance. Come on. Can't you see I'm trying? Like, I'm trying here. Putting in the work. Let's also do this. My signature keeps changing. That's probably something. I don't. Oh, can you see that? Okay, let's put it. Let's put a little. Here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Get my signature. Simple, and then I can kind of tidy that up later. That's why I want to get it in there now. And let's do this a little bit. I want him to have like a goosebump chin. Maybe he got some work done, right? Like some plastic surgery to get his chin looking like Superman's. You know, he's doing whatever it takes to get in your good graces. Give him a chance. He's doing whatever he can to get in your good graces. Give me another chance. All right, now let you dry for a while. Toodles, everyone. Bye.